Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Healthy Funnel Podcast. It's Alex and Will here with like a super special guest, you guys. I can't believe we got this guy on the podcast, first of all. The like level that this dude is playing at, y'all are about to just explode your brains with some knowledge on videos and how to use video in your businesses from a guy who literally is at the top of the game. And I was like so geeking out when I first met him at a marketing conference about 2 months ago. I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to go to this conference and I got to meet this guy. And not only was I blown away with his knowledge, but then to realize that he's one of the nicest guys on the planet. Just like, oh man, we're going to be best friends. A marketing nerd who's like equally enthusiastic about Clickfunnels, and he's a freaking awesome guy. Holy cow, guys. Kevin Anson is on with us today. And if you haven't heard of Kevin Anson before, I know that you've seen his work. He is the mastermind behind probably like 80% of the Facebook ads that you get targeted for in the online marketing space. I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, Kevin, but Kevin works, he's the exclusive video, video genius behind Clickfunnels. And you've been doing it now for how long, Kevin?
I have been doing it for Clickfunnels for about 2 years now. And by the way, thank you for the amazing introduction. I'm just super stoked to be here. I can't say enough great things about you guys. You guys are amazing. Like there's like maybe 3 people in my world who are so giving and so helpful and so willing to like give their time to help other people. And you guys have done so much for me. So I appreciate you guys so much. Just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you, dude. I remember the first night we really met in person. We stayed up till about 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Processing payments at someone else's conference.
Oh man.
But it was hilarious to me as we were going through the night. Kevin would get these messages from people on his phone. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know them? And then someone else would message him like, you know them too? Like, this is the most well-connected person in the world. But dude, tell us about how you got into, like, how you decided videos was going to be your thing, and how in the world did you get to this level where, like, you are the top dog now in the internet marketing industry in terms of video production?
I mean, I can't claim the title of top dog, but I mean, I'll say that I play in the top 100. I guess I don't know. It's modest. I can be modest there, but I got into video back in the college days when I was, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I know I want to do something that's techie, and I didn't know what it was yet. So this was like in 2002, before I even like got started to go down that path of getting my degree. And so a buddy of mine made a video in iMovie. He made a music video. He showed it to me because he was in a class on video editing. Showed it to me, and I was like, dude, no way, you can make videos like in iMovie? Like I want to do that, And so I changed my major that day and changed it to arts and technology. And this was like before YouTube days, before Facebook days, and before, when anything was like going online. And so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, without getting into too much detail, but I graduated college, and then I went on to the corporate world. I spent 7 years in the corporate world as a director of video production. And I edited, started off like basically got thrown into the fire. I edited 67 1-hour TV shows in San Diego. It went on Fox and Cox and another channel. I can't remember. Was it Time Warner? I don't know. But and then I did 56 credit union shows that went online. And so it was just like this whole thing of like 7 years in the corporate world where I was like making videos full time. I made hundreds of videos. And then I got laid off. I don't want to get into that whole story, but got laid off. And then my wife said, why don't you just start your own company? And so I did. That was in 2011. So I started my company on the first day of 2011, which was, January, whatever day it was. And it's kind of hit the ground running. And I built it to a 6-figure business in 6 months. And so, 6 years goes by, 6-ish. And I started getting into marketing. Like I started a YouTube channel, and I was, growing my subscribers, and I was just kind of doing it just to see if I liked it, just testing things out, making tutorials. And I started getting involved with Clickfunnels, and I heard about this guy named Russell Brunson. He does this webinar. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I joined their Facebook group. And then one night, it was on, I think it was March 28th, 2016. He puts a post in the group and says, is anyone really good at video editing? We're starting a new project, and we'd love to bring someone on. And so I was like thinking, there's no way he's going to pick me. This guy's like a celebrity, but why not? I'll just throw in some links. And so I did. I threw down some links in the comments, and luckily I had worked with like, Infusionsoft, which is one of his biggest competitors, and Mercedes-Benz. And so I put the links to that, to my work in there. And within 10 minutes, he was reaching out to me on Facebook and was like, dude, love your work. Like, I want to talk to you. Add me on Voxer. Here's my handle. Let's chat. And so that's what happened. So I did. I was Voxing him. And then he said, what would you charge to edit an episode of Funnel Hacker TV? And I was like, wouldn't answer him, because I wanted to build value first, which is a good lesson for anyone out there. I wanted to prove myself, and I wanted to basically like give away as much of myself as I could to prove to him that I'm good at what I do. So I did that for the first like 2 or 3 episodes. I just didn't charge him, didn't send him an invoice, didn't tell him how much I wanted to charge. And then he was like, dude, you're the man. Like, this is amazing. Holy crap. Like, we want to make tons of these. This is insane. And then he said, now what do you want to charge me? And so I got him on the phone, which was like, somehow people tell me like, how did you get Russell Brunson on the phone? Like, I saved his cell phone number in my iPhone. I still have it to this day. It's kind of funny. But so then I told him on the phone how much I wanted to charge. And so that was great. And so we did. I went on and edited like 100 episodes of Funnel Hacker TV, over 100. And then I got introduced to the traffic side of things. So I've been running Facebook ads, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat for them, because I really understand marketing. I really understand what drives people to take action, what drives them to stop and watch your content, to click on it. And I've learned a ton over it's been 15 years since I've been producing videos. I've produced thousands of videos. Like, I just absolutely love it. And so they put me on the traffic team, and I've just been crushing it, selling tons of expert secrets, .com secrets, 30-day summit, one funnel away, 10x secrets, 30. Did I say 30-day summit? I did. And so yeah, I've just been helping them earn those 2 Comma Club awards with my ninja video skills. So it's been fun.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that's the coolest story. Like, just the fact, I think if you're listening right now, you can hear the humility in this dude's voice and in his story as he talks about it. But he really is like just top notch, not only talent, but he just does such a good job of providing value to people up front. And man, Kevin, I'm so stoked for you, dude. What a cool journey.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm very, very blessed to be where I'm at, and to be running the race with these top dogs, and just getting to learn from them. I mean, I'm on the core marketing team right now. I'm not an employee of Clickfunnels, but I contract for them. And so I'm on the core marketing team. So I'm in their morning meetings every morning. We're talking about, funnel hacking live and 10X Growth Con, which is coming up this week, and just all the crazy things that are going on. It's been a blast. So I've learned a ton.
Oh man. But before we get into like the video side of things, I just want to ask you, from your perspective as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, what have you learned from working with Russell Brunson, with Clickfunnels team, like entrepreneurship, owning a business? What have you learned from being with people in that environment?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is it's okay to launch something that's broken. It's okay to just get something out there so you can test it and see if people respond and see if people like it and if they'll buy it. And I've like gotten a lot out of that, because like they do that even now. Like, they'll launch something that's not completely ready yet. Like, they might launch a course and then like the content's not even made yet. And then like once they see that, oh, we made $1 million, we should probably make the content, right? So that's kind of one of the biggest things that I've learned, and there's probably other lessons that I've learned that, I might get into here amidst all the questions that you're about to ask me. But that's the biggest thing for me, is to just get over it. Like, it doesn't matter what the logo looks like. It doesn't matter what your landing page looks like. Like, just get something out there, start testing things and see what people respond to, and then adjust accordingly.
Man. So Kevin, what you're saying is you don't have to have everything perfect first?
Not at all.
Man, I think that's a huge, huge lesson that I think we come back to over and over and over again, that I think just takes time for people to really internalize that, but it's so important. I'm glad you told that story, or you brought that up as one of the biggest lessons, because I just think it paralyzes so many people from moving forward.
That's exactly what it is. It does. And it did it to me too earlier on in my like entrepreneurial journey, is that if you just if you're focusing too much, if you're spending 2 days on trying to get the perfect logo or waiting for some logo designer to get back to you, like you're never going to launch. Like there's so many, like we all know it's overwhelming. There's so many working parts to make all this stuff work. Like your Facebook ads, your video, your landing page, is your email sequence, like all that stuff. Like I just launched a course yesterday and I don't even have an email sequence set up at all. I don't even have a follow-up. All it says is thanks for purchasing. And then they go to a Facebook group and there's not even a Facebook banner image on the Facebook group. Like it's just, and there's no content. And it's just like, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to deliver. It just means that like I'm getting people in, like, oh, cool, some people bought it. That means that it works. They want this thing that I'm selling. Now I'm going to start making the content. So, yeah.
Dude, I freaking love that. So let's talk about now for someone who's a physical therapist or they're like a healthcare provider. You mentioned that there's certain things that get people to like stop and watch a video and consume a video in an ad, right? If someone's a service provider, smaller business, right? They don't have a huge budget to be doing this on their own. What are the types of things they should have in mind when they're going to film content that'll eventually be in an ad? Like, what are those things that you'd say, hey, as a service provider, make sure to either include this stuff or don't worry about this stuff, right? What are the important things for someone in that setting when they're thinking about filming videos to promote themselves?
The most important thing that you can do in your video is to give the pattern interrupt a lot of thought. And a pattern interrupt is something that causes somebody to stop scrolling and to stop to watch your content. Because a lot of people, they put out a video on Facebook or Instagram and it's them talking on camera or whatever. They might have the most amazing message in the world, but like you didn't get someone's attention to stop them in their tracks, to get them to click on your video and watch it. So that's your number one goal, is to get somebody to stop what they're doing. There's an ad that that they're running on for the .com secrets book for Clickfunnels, and it's got like 50,000 views or whatever. But it says in the beginning, "Can you read fast?" ? And it's like flashing. It's flashing red and blue. The background's flashing red and blue, and there's white text over top that says, "Can you read fast?" And it's like da 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 da. So you're scrolling through Facebook, you're on your phone, and you see that it says, "Can you read fast?" It challenges people. And then they go, oh, I can read fast. I wonder like what this is going to be. So you're challenging, you're piquing their curiosity. So that's like one example of a video that I've created for them that's gotten insane results. Another thing is making your videos square and putting a headline at the top and on the bottom. So there's so many people who aren't doing it. It's just surprising to me. Like you are, basically, if you upload a video that looks, I don't know if you're not watching the video of this, but I'm holding up my phone right now. But if you're uploading a video, it's like 16:9, right? It's like widescreen. And you have the opportunity if you do a square video, you just bought yourself real estate on the top and on the bottom. So at the top, you can put headline, and on the bottom, you can put your web address, or you can put captions that say like what you're saying. You can put whatever you want. Like you can put all kinds of like fun stuff at the bottom, but when you do a square video, you put your content in the middle, and then top and the bottom, you have things, to play with. It's like a playground. And so if you're not doing that, I'll highly recommend doing that. I mean, if you guys want, I can get into all the different, resources and tools that people can use. They can do it all on their phone. I mean, I could share that with you guys right now. But basically shoot your videos and shoot them horizontally. So landscape, sideways, hold your phone sideways, shoot a video of yourself, give somebody like 3 tips, or maybe like, 3 things to, to help yourself with back pain, right? So you give them like 3 tips and you make a video, you talk for 60 seconds, and then you take that video and you bring it into an app on your phone. On the iPhone, there's like, and I think it's on Android too, but go into InShot. It's an app. You bring your video that you just recorded, bring it into InShot, and then you put a headline at the top. Make sure your headline is curiosity based, like, 3 tips you didn't know about, or 3 tips, or let's say like 3 things that are killing your back. And then people are like, oh, dang, like, I want to know what those 3 things are. Or like, are you making these 3 mistakes? Or are you doing these 3 things that are destroying your back? You know what I mean? Like just something like that to get somebody's attention. So that's you can do it all on your phone. And now you have yourself this nice, glorious video ad that you just created on your phone that you brought in InShot, exported it. Now it's in your camera roll on your phone, and you can upload it straight to Facebook and start running ads to it and try things out. Like do $1 a day. Like I know Will and Alex talk about that. It doesn't matter. Just try something to get it out there. That's the best answer I can give you guys, is to put headlines on your videos and start piquing curiosity. And one other thing too is that 85% of videos are watched on Facebook with no sound. So that means that a lot of people are, maybe they're in a lobby at the doctor's office and they don't want to like listen to your video because it might disturb the people around them. But if you have captions on your video, you are going to raise your conversions exponentially, because people will watch your video if they know what you're saying. If they just see your mouth moving, but they don't know what you're saying, they're going to move on and watch a different video instead. So put captions on your videos, and you will thank me later. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. You don't know how happy you just made me, because we always tell people, make videos square, put captions on there. And even we tell people to include music too. My goodness, dude. Like, okay, so InShot, people can use InShot on their phones to like simple video editing. But let me ask you, how important is it that someone has the best DSLR to be filming their videos on, Kevin?
So this is really cool, because I was just listening to a podcast by Frank Kern, and he totally confirmed what I have already been teaching people. And I already knew it was true anyways, but to hear him say it, I was like, yes, this is true. So the higher the quality of your video or your video ad, the less it actually hurts your performance. So the worse the quality of your video is, the better it's going to perform. Isn't that crazy? Because people are nowadays, our like meter of like what we deem as authentic and real, because we're so used to watching YouTube and vlogs and people vlogging about real life, like holding cameras, doing selfies, like this type of thing. Those videos outperform videos that are shot like Super Bowl commercials, right? Like if you run a Super Bowl commercial, unless it's like super, super funny, like and you put it on Facebook, it's probably not going to do that well, because people like real life stuff. So when you're creating a video ad, I mean, you like you are the tripod. Selfie yourself, make a video, hold it in your hand, and I'm telling you, it will perform. It will outperform the guy next to you who bought like a couple $1,000 camera, and he spent a bunch of money on lights, and he did all this stuff, and he hired a production crew, and he hired a video editor, and they got all this script, and he spent $10,000 to make this video ad. But if he doesn't understand like the messaging, he doesn't understand like how to get people's attention, it's he's not going to do as well as you. And no, don't get me wrong. Like if you know what you're doing, sure, you can go out and buy an expensive camera. You could do all that fun stuff. Like if you know what you're doing, like for me, yeah, I have all that stuff. That's my job. But I'm not saying don't buy all that stuff, but I'm saying that you don't need to buy any of that stuff. I create ads all the time on this camera that I'm looking at you guys in right now. I shoot video ads that have gotten insane results. I made $5,000 in like 2 days on a little program that I launched, and I shot it all on my little $100 Logitech webcam that you can get on Amazon. So, yep.
Oh my gosh. I just love hearing this validation. Like you're sitting here listening right now. Kevin just gave you permission to launch stuff without being like 100% perfect, right? He even said, launch stuff, validate that people will buy it, and then create it. Oh my gosh. Permission, permission, permission. Then he just said, hey, like make videos, but they don't have to be perfect either. Use your freaking phone. Like use what you've got right here, right? I just think how amazing that we live in a time when the stuff that we have in our pocket is good enough to beat out an entire production team, right? And you mentioned something really important. It's messaging, and it's making sure that you're getting attention, right? In your mind, what are the types of messages that you've seen that have worked for ClickFunnels? And not just talking ClickFunnels, but in general, like what's the messaging that's getting attention right now online? Does it have to be short, like clickbaity stuff? Is it longer, thought-provoking? Like from your perspective, what gets attention well online right now?
From my perspective, the videos that do the best are not so much, does it have to be square? Like, no, you could still get good results, but like the videos that do really well are the ones that get somebody's attention in the front with the pattern interrupt that I talked about. And then also it's the hook. It's telling people what you're going to talk about. So you're like start right in the beginning. Like, don't say like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I've been doing this for 25 years, and I went to college and blah, 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 blah. Like no one, I mean, do they care about that? Yeah, sure. You can get into that later. Credibility. It's great. But like the most important thing is like, hey everybody, my name is John. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 3 things that it's going to blow your mind. Like what I'm about to share with you guys that you're totally doing wrong in your life. And I can't wait to share it with you. So like now you got their attention. Now you hooked them in. And or you could do something like, in this video, I'm going to share with you blah, blah, blah. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to share with you something that completely changed my life. And I'm going to give you a link to a special video that I made for you. But you have to stick around till the end to find out what that is. And then they're like, oh God, I got to find it out. And so that's called a hook. And you just got someone's attention and you gave them a reason to stick around. And so those are the videos that are doing the best. And I do these too with my corporate clients, ones where they're not square videos. It's just telling a story. I usually try to put some sort of a hook in the beginning where it's like, let's say if you're doing a testimonial about Clickfunnels, right? And you could be like, the person you interviewed says, yeah, Clickfunnels made me $1 million and totally changed my life. And then you start the video off with that. And then it goes into the story of how they got to that. Like that beginning part is just the hook. It's like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. And so that's the best advice I could give you guys with videos right now is it's like a 7-second attention span right now, which is the same as a goldfish. And so you don't have a lot of time to get people's attention. There's so much content. They're being bombarded with, hundreds of videos on a daily basis. And so you got to make yours stand out.
Man, I love it. And Kevin, you make some points that are so like obvious in society now that I'm aware of it. Like, I was watching the new True Detective show new True Detective series that just came out, just started. And of course it always starts with this like high intensity thing that's happening, like immediately as soon as the show starts. And then 60 seconds in, it stops and goes to the intro sequence thing or whatever, like the welcome to the show thing. And I'm just sitting there like, I just got so hooked. Like, I'm not going to do anything else. Are you kidding me? Like, I got to see how this plays out. Like, that first 60 seconds was like incredible. What's going to happen here? I need to know. And normally I would just wait for the intro part to leave, right? I'd just be like, all right, I'll go make popcorn while the intro part goes. And I was going, and I'm like, man, I'm just like, they got me. I can't get up. I can't move. I can't do anything. Like, I need to know. So interesting how, like, for me to see as a consumer, like now that I'm aware of these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, it totally makes sense why they do that versus, like, why don't you just start with the intro? Why don't you just lead with like, here are the characters, here are their names. Instead, that high intensity, quick something that piques your curiosity, gets you like, I need to know more. That was a commentary, but I did want to ask you, we have a lot of people who are young, it doesn't matter age, but therapists or clinicians who want to start either like Instagram or YouTube channel. And they know that video matters to them. When it comes to creating the actual content part of video, do you have any advice from your own experience of how you've been consistent with creating content? Or if someone were going to start, let's say their own YouTube channel about, I don't know, exercise, of how you would kind of create content for that and the way that you come up with ideas for content?
Yeah, I think especially for people who have, brick and mortar businesses, your customers want to see behind the closed doors about what your operation looks like so they can feel like they trust you more. And when you give them an inside, like all, behind the scenes access pass to like you and your coworkers and how you guys do certain things, you're really like, you're building trust and credibility with them by doing that. There's an attorney that I do videos for in San Diego, and I told her to do that. It was like 2 years ago, and she's gotten tremendous results. She's gotten so many cases from it as a result. Like, she goes on Instagram and does just Instagram Live and just talks about whatever. It doesn't even matter. She'd be like, hey guys, like, we're here at the law firm, and like we just ordered in some like takeout, like, oh, look at how delicious this looks, and then that's it. She's just talking about, and she's showing all her employees like, oh, look, Stephanie's eating her burrito over here. Oh, sorry, I had to put you on camera right now. That was awkward. And then, it's like laughable stuff that people can relate to, and then you fall in love with them, and then you go, oh, this lady seems like cool. She seems nice. Like, I like them. And then they want to buy from you, or they want to visit your firm or visit your practice or whatever it is. So that's the thing. I think if you're just to make short little videos on a daily basis, and you don't even have to edit them. You don't have to get all fancy. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just make a little video, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, do like a little tip if you want about something, and then throw it up on YouTube straight from your phone, and just start putting content out there and share it on Facebook. It doesn't take that much time and effort.
Man, it's so true. Kevin, I'd love to ask, because since you've been in it for so long, I think that people coming into this stuff now probably seems really commonplace video, but I just would love to pick your brain, kind of the perspective on where we've come in the use of video, say 15 years ago when you started, and what it took to like create a video ad to put on TV, for example, versus what people are able to do today. I think sometimes we take for granted, or we don't have perspective on how accessible this is compared to what it used to be like. I guess I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on how much things have changed in the last 15 years using video.
They have changed tremendously. I think that, YouTube completely revolutionized everything. And it's just a great place to, get content on demand. If you want to learn how to, paint the walls in your house and you don't really know how to do it and get started, you go on YouTube. It's like, it's YouTube. What do they call it? YouTube University. So it's changed a lot. I mean, when I first started out, it was like, whenever I made corporate videos, they would go straight to a DVD, and then they would go to a trade show and they'd hand out 100 DVDs, and then probably no one watches it. And so it's just like the power of the internet it's changed everything, because it's just that content is out there online and you can find it and access it anytime. It's just like a 24/7 library of content, and it's not going anywhere. So, back in the day, you had to be like, oh, where did I put that DVD? I was going to watch that. And then I can't find it. Now you just go on Google and you find it, So it's like, it's just crazy. It's just like, now is the time to kind of like 15-ish years ago, when everyone was on the whole, like, you got to build a website, the whole train of that. Like, everyone knows that now. And I'd say most people know now that you need to do a video. I think they're pretty well informed. Like, I don't have to sell people anymore. But if you're not doing video, you're completely missing a huge opportunity. Like, it's kind of morbid, but when you're on your deathbed one day and you look back and I hope that you don't sit there and go, man, I wish I would have made more videos. Because if you do get to that point, like, I hope that you're not that person saying that, because, like, seriously, like, you're missing a huge opportunity.
So, dude, there are a lot of people right now who are listening who feel like, I would rather be on my deathbed than make a video. So for those people who are like deathly afraid of getting in front of the camera, how do you coach them through that? Like, what do you tell someone who's like, oh my gosh, I've never done a video, let alone a live video? How do you coach someone through that initial process of getting over that?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that, because I do talk about this a lot. And when you first start out, you're going to suck. And the more you do it, you're going to suck less and less and less, until the point where you're actually kind of good at it. So what I tell people to do is to start making videos and don't show them to anyone. Like, put them on your phone, even if you have to delete them. Make a bunch of videos and just keep making them, keep getting in that pattern of like, okay, I need to make a video. I'm going to, talk on camera, do this thing, and then watch it back. And you will be your own worst critique. Like, oh, I probably should have brushed my hair a little better that day, or, whatever it is, like, put a little, want to wear more makeup or whatever it is. And so the more you do that, the more you start getting used to like your voice. You find your voice and you start learning how to talk on camera, to the point where you're finally going to get to a point where you're going to be okay with sharing the video with a friend and be like, hey, check out this video that I made. Like, what do you think? And then get their feedback. And then eventually, you do maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 videos. And then you get to a point where you're like, oh, this is like, I'm good at this actually. And then you share it with the world. The other thing I tell people too is if you're terrified of doing Facebook Lives, create a Facebook group with no one in it and get used to the feeling of what it's like to hit that go live button, to type in a headline, hit go, live. You're like, hey, I'm live in this group that no one's in. And then like watch it back and see how it makes, like, how do you look? How do you feel? Like, do you feel like you look good? If not, then, keep practicing. And the other thing I tell people too is to 10x your energy. And that is so true, because in real life, when we're having conversations, like you're hanging out in a coffee shop with somebody, you don't like talk all energetically and like scream and like yell and all this stuff. If you did, everyone look at you like you're a crazy person. But on video, you have to, like, that's just how you're supposed, you want to come across. Like if you watch any of the announcers on TV, like Dancing with the Stars or whatever, like the announcer guy, like the way he's talking, like he's very like polished and he talks loud and he like uses his hands and he has a lot of energy. That's how you got to do it. You got to just 10x your energy to the point where it feels weird. Like just try it a few times. Like I said, delete the video if you don't like it. Just try it. Because like when I do a video, I mean, this could be me. I'd be like, what's up, everybody? This is Kevin Anson. Welcome to the Video Boss Training. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Like, see the difference? Like, but when you watch that on video, like people go, right on. That was kind of like, cool. I like that guy's energy, And so that's my best advice for that.
Dude, I love that. And it's so funny because early on, you do just suck. Like I go back and I think about when I was first starting, the very first time I put myself out there was with a podcast. And I remember like literally feeling like I can't hit record. And then when I did, I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to go edit out all that stuff. And now it's just like, you just go and you actually realize that you really just get to be yourself. Like ultimately it's just about being yourself, being comfortable. And I love that idea though of 10xing your energy. And the funny thing is that starts to come naturally as soon as you turn on the camera, once you practice it, right? Because now it's like, hey, we're live, guys, welcome, right? And I don't think about that sounds really weird outside of the context of video. My family is always like, were you yelling? Were you mad? It's like, no, I wasn't mad. I was just hyped up. I'm just getting excited.
Yeah. It's so awesome. And like, if you guys are afraid of like not knowing what to say, I think that can be a huge hurdle for people too. And they have an app for that actually, where you type in your script and the script will scroll next to the camera on your phone. So that the reason why it does that is because like if people can tell that you're reading a script off of a teleprompter, they can, like they'll call you out on that, like they can tell. But the script will actually scroll next to the camera on your phone, so it looks like you're looking into the lens, but you're not. The app is called Teleprompter. Not a very like original name, but I mean, I don't know. I can't really show a picture of it right now, but because you guys might be listening to this on the podcast. But yeah, just look up apps for teleprompter apps, and it's like tremendously helpful. I use it too, even when I'm recording something that I'm not super like polished on the content. I use that app all the time, and I'll read it, and I get to a point where I practice, and it doesn't sound like I'm reading it. So yeah, highly recommend that too.
Sweet, man. Kevin, this has been incredibly like knowledge bombs across the board, man. Thank you so much for sharing all this. I got to go back through and listen because this was dang good. If someone's like, man, that Kevin guy really knows his stuff, I want to go learn more from him, where can people find you online? Obviously, they're going to watch your videos in their newsfeed, whether they want to or not. But where can they find you and how to learn more from you, man?
Yeah, you guys can go to my new program that I just launched. It's called the Video Ad Bootcamp, and it's at videoadbootcamp.com. And you can also, there's a link at the top of that page. If you want to just kind of get to know me better, there's a link to my Facebook group. So go to videoadbootcamp.com. At the top, it says Facebook group. So just click on that, join my free group, and hang out. There's like, at the time of this recording, there's like 1,300 people in there just, talking about video stuff. There's entrepreneurs, marketers, video creators. So it's a good mix of people. If you got any questions, we can definitely answer them for you. And then, I love connecting with like-minded entrepreneurs too. So, hit me up on Facebook, add me. There's some links on my Facebook profile too that you can, get to all the same places. But yeah.
Dude, Kevin, you just said something that I think people missed how amazingly big this is. You just said you have a program that's coming out at videoadbootcamp.com. Who is that program for? Because I've actually seen it. I know it's inside there and people are about to have their minds blown. Just tell us for just a second, who is that for? What are they going to learn in there?
It's for anyone who, whether you're somebody who makes videos or you're somebody who has nothing to do with making videos at all and you don't know anything about it. I'm teaching things like, how to write a script for your video, how to shoot your content the best way. When it comes to like all the way down to like holding the camera or setting it up on a tripod, how to get the best lighting and, audio, and also how to edit your videos. If you don't want to use, some crazy editing program, you don't have to. I'm going to teach both sides of the spectrum. So if you want to just use your phone, you can do that. So I'm going to be teaching people how to edit your videos, how to write, enticing, curiosity-based headlines that people actually want to click on and go and, and watch your content, how to get them to take action. All the stuff that I do on a daily basis working with Clickfunnels and testing things. I've tested hundreds of videos through their platform, and they spend $500,000 a month on Facebook ads. So I definitely have learned a ton, and being able to try things, like they don't stop me from trying things. I just basically just make a video and I just give it to their ad buyer guy, and I'm like, here, try this, and then I watch the videos and I see what works and see what doesn't work, and so I'm able to, I want to parlay that information into my students. There's this one trick that I do with ads and the Square videos. It's like this one headline that you can use on any video, and it converts better than anything I've ever tried. Like with the one video I tried it on, it converted 6 times better. I made 4 different videos. So it was the same video. All of them had different headlines, and the one that I put on this one same headline on, it outperformed all the other 3. So it's just crazy. And I'm not telling you guys that because I paid $300 to learn this one tiny little trick. That's just one of the things that I'm sharing in my course. So tons of value.
Man, Kevin, if you're out there right now and you're listening and you feel like, you might be a student out there listening who are looking for a way to create a side hustle, create a second, another way of income, or to find a way to make extra money on the side to reduce your student loan debt, like this would be a huge game changer for you. If you are interested at all, go to videoadbootcamp.com, check it out. Kevin, I just got to say, we are so humbled that you took time out of your day, man, to talk with us, to share the knowledge that you have. Yeah, man, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there are some video creators who are going through my program right now. They're people who already have been making videos for years, and they're excited to go through it. And what's cool about it is when you go through the program and you come out the other side, my goal is to actually start connecting people with other marketers who are looking for video people. So basically, it's almost like you get, you like earn this certificate of approval once. Oh, this guy went through Kevin Anson's course, and then I want to help match people up with other business owners, marketers, entrepreneurs who are looking for video people, because they're like, I don't know if this sounds bad to say, but like they're like my minions, I guess, in a way. Like, oh, these people, they have a certificate, they've gone through my program. Like, here you go. Like, take this person. He's awesome. He knows how to make video ads. And so that's my goal too, is to help other people and kind of, land them with clients. I hope I'm explaining that right, but that's what I want to be able to do, is to help people out, to make more money.
Dude, I freaking love it. We have a shared mission there, man. I just love it. Guys, go to videoadbootcamp.com. Kevin wasn't going to promote that at all. So I told him no, we're going to promote you, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to go through your whole course. So you just have another sign up for me, brother. But thank you, dude. Go check out Kevin Anson. You'll be seeing his ads shortly, I'm sure. As you pay attention now, next time you see a ClickFunnels ad or Funnel Hacker TV, be like, oh, I'll bet Kevin was involved in that. And he probably was.
Probably.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. You guys, you've been listening to the Healthy Funnel Podcast. Hit us up in the Healthcare Digital Marketing Group on Facebook. If you want to connect with Will and I, we're on Facebook right along with Kevin. And this has been another amazing episode. We'll see you on the next one.